Hello everybody and welcome back to Tropico 6 in a very unfortunate moment right now. We do have a drought happening right now, so all of our plantations, as we can see, operate at, well, efficiency below 5%. Those guys here actually work at only 0%, so that's really not much that we have here right now. In that case, we do have a problem with money then soon. The allies already sent me some disaster relief that we can use. So in that case here, we do get a bit of money there from our allies, but we really don't get much else. So we do have the expected revenue of 24,000 for the next ship that comes in, because we got lots of weapons. Now, weapons fortunately are not affected by the drought. You know, my mines still operate at normal capacity, but the other ones are not. Now, something that I want to do is for trade. Do we have a free license? We do have a free license, and we might import tobacco. That might be something, because we do need still to export our cigars, which are really worth it, and tobacco will then probably do something about it. As we can see here, plus 40% though on the tobacco. Now, tobacco usually is not really expensive, so plus 40% sounds like a lot, but really it isn't a lot. So, you know, standard cost per 1k unit is 2,000. Then we can go for the cigars and have a look how they would fare. You know, that's 11,000 per 1,000 units. In that case here, we do would still earn quite a lot of money, even if we purchase at this rate there. Let me just check there again real quick if there is no other offering for tobacco in that case, but I don't see that. So yeah, we are going for tobacco there, and let's start with 2,000 for now. Perhaps the drought ends sooner than later. So we do have a bit of import here. We could purchase now a second license, something that we might do for, yeah, the rum actually, because rum is still another good that we need. Do we have a good sugar import that we could use? Let's have a look at that. So over here, oh, sugar seems to be quite expensive there as well. There it is, plus 98%. Now that's a bit too much. Now it seems like the drought is not only affecting my island, but the world as well, because all the raw materials from plantations are quite expensive now. In that case, we will still get a good amount of money there now. Very good, 31,000, 6 immigrants, and perhaps, yeah, we already imported here 1,000 tobacco that we can use right away for our cigar factory. So hopefully they are going to transport that now to the cigar factory. I hope it's that smart. Yes, they are. So there's the truck now coming out here with the cigars, with the tobacco, getting it to the tobacco factory. Now, the other thing that we still need to do is the sabotage. Now, finish the sabotage on the Axis. We have 1 out of 4. So we already completed 1 sabotage, and we found research military police there as well. That's something that's interesting. Let's have a look at that again. So right now we do have a sabotage, then we have a treasure hunt. Let's actually skip the treasure hunt and just go for 3 sabotage acts there right away. Another thing that is happening right now is that buildings collapse, probably because of the drought. I don't know how this is possible, but it seems that it is happening. So we just lost the ranch there. We can rebuild it for $900. Let's do that. So this is being rebuilt. No other building though, you know, collapsed so far. Treasure hunt gives us 5,000 rate points. That is pretty good. So we can start with the sabotage there right away. It's already in action. And there, our new industry is coming out. Now the textile for cotton and wool, we do get that from 2 sides. So we do have the llama ranch that is coming up here. So this is focusing primarily on wool, and then we have the cotton plantation as well. So that textile mill here should get its resources rather quickly that we have here now. Very good, and already fully staffed with the workers, and the first cotton is in, so we can start producing some cloth there. So those are a few things, and what I can see right now is the drought is over. So heatwave has passed. Very good. Next freighter, a bit of money again. We still have a decent amount of money there, so we might just build something. And what I can see is at the theater we get the first people now living or going to the theater. No idea why that happened now. It was totally empty up to this point here. I didn't change anything, so for now we're really just starting to get people coming into the theater there for a bit of entertainment. We already have lots of well-off people, and now they're going for that. I don't know, something triggered it for some reasons, but that's it. The next sabotage is finished. I don't know if we get anything out of it. It seems like we don't get anything out of these sabotage acts though. No idea. next Friday. They're very good, so we are back to normal again. While we're doing our sabotage acts here, we do have another upcoming election. Let's have a look. We can do quite a lot of here. So what is the lowest that we have here now? Housing happiness is at 39 only. Healthcare happiness is pretty low too. Let's go with healthcare. Housing I can fix rather easily. Healthcare probably as well. Then the capital is still low there. I blame no superpower, and I promise more healthcare happiness, right? That's a promise that we can easily do.
My friends,
and we have changed a bit as El Presidente there. We have an approval rating of 60% so far. That's pretty good.
It was your trust that made it possible. Your trust of me, El Presidente.
There's a shack. I haven't seen a shack for quite some time. Let's have a look. Homeless. We have 12 homeless.
Our ongoing prosperity is supported by the capitalists. With thanks. We're grateful for the many fulfilling jobs you create for my people and your progressive attitudes towards taxation. Let us speak of the nation's health. More doctors, do I hear? But that is not enough.
No doctors.
Working longer
and yes, we're going for better doctors there. I just need to find them. There's the clinic. Unfortunately, the hospital is for Cold War. That's later then, so we can have another clinic, though we already only have one.
All of you. Viva Tropico!
That's fine, and we can have that somewhere here then. Oh, we already have one here. Clinic, totally forgot that. We might just increase the budget on that. There was the promise with the healthcare, but it seems like I don't see that at the moment. Or it's coming up after the election then. Approval rating is pretty high though, 75% right now. That's fine, but what I can see is... Oh, very good. Money's not a problem, so we just were pretty close there to the lower end there. Now let's see, trade routes here. Weapons is still something that we export for quite some time. The other thing would be the cigars, right? So we do export some cigars again. We do produce us some tobacco. Let's see, sugar that would be very good as well, what I can see. Tobacco, cigars is plus 10%. Cotton is plus 58%. Nah, let's have cigars there, and let's have a medium volume there so we can finish this contract sooner than later. And the homeless problem is partly caused over here, what I can see. So we got 3 shacks that are close to this plantation. So let's have another bunkhouse here. We already have one bunkhouse there, so it's fine to have another one. Of course, we might actually remove them at some point, or we just, you know, get a metro then over here or something like that, so people can move easily or more easily over there. That's important. Now with the clinics here, increasing the budget might do something, so that's 125% right now. Yeah, upgrades here are also only for the Cold War, so it seems like we really have to go with waiting for the Cold War there, because I really don't want to build another clinic. Actually, they don't cost us anything as far as I can see. This one here earned us some money there. Even if it's just a bit, it does earn a bit of money. We might just go for a third one, but I wouldn't know where. I really want to save for the hospital there, so let's not do that right now. Let's finish the last sabotage act and then probably go for the Cold War.
Presidente, thanks awfully. Hey, I'll say this about war. It keeps us busy with exciting adventures, hey?
And that's it. We finished 4 sabotages. We call them adventures. It's department policy, the rewriting of history department specifically. Busy fellows, those revolutionists. With your help, President, they will win a war one day, irrespective of the actual outcome.
Oh, very good show. Nice islands you have there. I certainly hope, guarantee that they'll survive the war.
It's a good deal we're offering, President. Basically, if you don't show us up and if you keep the resources flowing, we'll mostly ignore you. Can't say fairer than that. Fulfill trade route with the allies 4 times. That's still the next quest here for the Cold War. So we still haven't fulfilled everything here, but trade should be easy, right? We already have one here. That is the cigar export that we have for the allies here. So where are we with that? Oh no, we're only at 0 there. So this is the beginning, but we can purchase another trade license and another one. Yes, let's go with another one there too. So 2 more trade licenses there. They're mostly for export, what I can see. So oil, that's very good. Let's make it smaller so we finish them quicker. Right, we have the oil there. That was quite lucrative now. Tobacco, toys, weapons. Oh, we already have weapons there for the Axis. And import is also possible. That is something where we can take, well, something easier like cocoa that is rather cheap. That would be one. So in that case here, 3 trade routes now active with the allies. That should give us the next, or that should fulfill us the quest there rather easily. We are making a nice profit there, and what I've done now with the raids here, we do have another treasure hunt, and then we're going to, yeah, we might go on a heist for Stonehenge there. So for that we do need some raid points first though, so we gather that, and once we have that we can actually build Stonehenge there. That's important though, because having these monuments for later will boost our tourism quite a bit. So in that case we might just wait for that. We do have the embassy here with the allies. We don't have any other embassy here yet. So what I also want to do is having another embassy. They are not that expensive. In that case, there it is, 5,000, we can afford that. And another embassy for the other superpowers. So don't forget, you know, we will lose one superpower soon, but we will gain another one once the Cold War ends. In that case here, having 2 embassies there might be nice. Then something here in front of the palace. I don't know what yet. We do have a garden here, so it doesn't make sense to have a garden here too, but we're definitely going to have a bigger building. But 2 embassies here side by side, that's fine. They're looking a bit naked right now here in the open, but trust me, once we come together there, it's going to be better. And let's allow free vote. We are at 73%. That should be fine. The next freighter, ooh, that's going to be lots of money. Look at that. And then we finished another trade route. And 35,000 there for that. We get, oh, an ally sends us for an 8. Steel is no longer trending. That's fine. Lots of money there. Fine. And we finished a trade route. Probably it's more for the cheaper ones, right? The import one. Yeah. Cocoa. We still have another import one. Oh, that's the Dominican Republic now. That would be coffee, really cheap. Minus 77%. We might just go for that. Export. Do we have to export something? Oh, cloth might be a good one, but that's a high volume there. But we do produce some cloth. Let's actually sign this contract there. And purchasing another license is not an option. How's the cigars looking? Yeah, okay, fine. We're getting some done now. And oil is still something that's standing at 0, which can't be true because we always have oil here. We actually have 2 oil wells over here. They're producing quite a lot of that. And they even have people on board. Those people should be working then here and living in the bunkhouse. Landslide victory. We can keep the same constitution. I don't still see my promise there. So the promise for better healthcare. Ah, there it is now. Right, so that is the promise there. 2,500 days. I don't know how many more quests we get with the progress to Cold War era. So in that case, I'm going with another health clinic now, you know, so then we can improve the healthcare happiness there. So let's go for another clinic. We have 2 clinics here already that are quite full, as we can see. So let's see where we can have another one. We might squeeze one here.
You look bored. Do you not?
And yes, an embassy for the Axis. We can do that. We might actually have a clinic up here where we already have lots of people, right? Can we build a road there? Yes, that's a good one. I think that's a good location there for a clinic. Yeah. Because we do have some bunkhouses here already, so lots of people living here. Having a clinic there might make sense. Now, the Axis wants us to have an embassy. We have one here, so let's invite the Axis. That is the quest there right away.
The task is done. You ask
we can choose now, uncover up to 5 hidden roles. 4,000. Let's take the money in this case. I don't know what the roles are, and in that case, I don't want to risk anything. Rebel threat is low, and yeah, we do have to improve our relations with the Axis there a bit, so let's praise them. It costs us a bit of money there, but we get up to 60 again. The higher that is, the more aid we get, so money wise, if we have financial problems. And well, they do give us some quests, and especially the trade routes are important. Now, let's see. We do have no oil. There's another truck coming in. Perhaps some... There we have some oil now, so we should definitely be able to advance at that. Let's have a look there again. It's still at 0. Let's see if that increases. Yes, now it increases. Very good. So now at least we got something out of this one here. We still have a bit of money there.
That miners can be so fussy. They get a roof over their head, even if it is rather prone to collapse.
All these miners' strikes around the world, it will drive up the prices of ore. Plus 15% once again, so we already had that. In that case here, I don't produce that much ore, unfortunately. I use it for the weapons factory. That should still give us more money than before. Another event, suddenly solstice. We were ready to hold the rocks, but suddenly there were druids everywhere. Penultimo, how you looking today? Seems we might have mistimed our plundering this time. There was some kind of super solstice or equinox or ultra vox or something going on when we arrived. I reckon we could have taken them, but the gang is superstitious about men in dresses. We've no choice but to wait out the current moon cycle. What is he talking about? We have to wait 720 days and no one knows what happens then. My people are still continue to work normally, so hopefully that is something. Trade route wise, we are at 3 out of 4, so one more trade route with the allies. We do have a trade route import here with the Axis though this time, because we do have a mission here as well for the Axis. Get a bit of money there, especially get a random blueprint. So we haven't had one of these quests in a long time with the blueprint, so we should really focus on that as well, because those blueprints, oh boy, they're just really expensive. Money wise, 44,000. That is fine. That actually gives us a bit of time here to focus on, well, another building here. That is the customs office. What I can see over here increases the export prices. It costs us a bit, quite a bit actually, of almost 15,000 there. But in that case here, it should improve or increase the prices of our exports. Let's do that. Custom office that it is. And that is something, well, we can have once again in our government district. So something that we could have here then. Let's build it. Oh, actually, wait a second. Let's cancel the construction there. I want to see if it's right, actually, because of course we can move them around. This is the right one after all. Yeah. Oh, there are the rubble again. Let's wait it out, and then we should be able to place it there. Very good. That's one thing that I wanted to do. We do have a nice income at the moment. So, you know, money-wise, we should be in the green zone. Something else that we haven't done yet is electricity. So the power plant over here, but that is really expensive. That is something we need to wait a bit. And there all of a sudden the next freighter comes in. Let's have a look. Yeah, 29,000. Oh, what I can see is that we haven't fulfilled a trade route here. The banana, that's close though. Oil. Oil is still pretty close to cigars and weapons as well. So we still have to wait for that one here to finish. Healthcare happiness hasn't increased really. We built now another clinic over here. People are working on there already. We have lots of patients coming in there. I have the highest budget there, so efficiency is high. What I can still do is anesthesia, so increase the service quality by 10. We can do that. We can afford that. Other than that, nothing that I could do here right now. We have the Quacksalver work mode. So workers only require a high school education. No, I'm not doing that. Despite the advantages or disadvantages that might come out of this one there. Another freighter is coming in. That we finished at least one trade route. Ah, that was with the allies. Very good.
Lord Presidente, you'll never believe what happened. We won the war. Damn this thing.
And just look at that. We won the war December 1945. We are only wrong by about 6 to 7 months like that. So we are really close there too with the real life dates. I like that. 1945 though, that is important. So we finished the war era with the right date there, and we can progress now to Cold War. So the war's over, and we were planning to ramp down our arbitrary bombing program over the next few months. In the meantime, there's suddenly lots of people without homes. No idea why, but it's a complete epidemic. Can you take some refugees? Oh, that's going to probably be the next thing then in the Cold War. And look at that, the streets improved.
If it was not treason to do so.
Cold War. The wars are over, President. I would kiss you if it was not treason to do so. Surely everything will get better now that the heat of the battlefield dies down and the world begins to cool. Surely it cannot get too cold. The sun shines upon the promise of the future and the planet is unquestionably safe. And yeah, gameplay information now for the Cold War era. Face the agendas of 6 political factions. We have now 6 instead of 2. And choose how to deal with the 2 new opposing superpowers and send spies to acquire future research opportunities.
New history books arrive today with the true story of how El Presidente won the war.
And we do get 2 more topics here for our constitution. So ecology and separation of powers. Ecology, energy efficiency decreases the power consumption of industrial buildings by 20%, decreases efficiency of industrial buildings by 5%, and the upkeep of $5. Economy first. Let's actually take the middle ground here once again until we have researched anything. So this is kind of like the compromise. And separations of power, we do have the official separations. So courthouse is required to be able to issue citizen actions. 20% of interaction costs are transferred to the Swiss bank account. The bribe action is not affected. Very well. This is our constitution for now. We might change it then as we go for more research. Now something changed with the Cold War, and that should be something then here. The modernizer. Oh, that's for the modern times there actually. I know that I've seen something here. Yep, there it is. The extensive fertilization increases the efficiency by 50% of that plantation here, for example. I mean, it's an expensive one, but boy, do we get lots of efficiency out of this one here. So I actually want to use that on, let's see, where do I have my tobacco? There's my tobacco, and let's use it here, right? And now we have 82% for the tobacco plantation. I think that's quite important, so that we keep our cigar factory there rolling and rolling all the time. Very good. We do get a new task here.
Attention, Presidente.
There seems to be a lot of pollution on your island. The pollution overlay shows the most polluted areas in red. You can decrease the pollution by building garbage dumps or waste treatment facilities. Right. That's that. So we do have a new overlay there now for pollution. There it is. And actually, yeah, a bit of pollution is here in the center and over here, where we have the tannery. While the tannery is quite clear, we're using lots of chemistry over there, but other than that, it doesn't seem to be that bad. Cleansing or cleansed buildings, we have 14% out of 0, so yeah, might be fine, I guess. Anyway, when it comes to new buildings, we have unlocked a lot of things. So for example, we now have the tourist buildings, the tourist that we can now get to our island. So once I start building these guys here, tourists will also arrive at our ports. That once I've built the required port or an airport, and then we do get a tourist there, that would be an additional income. The problem with tourism is that, well, it costs a lot to build up, you know, so from scratch it's going to be very expensive. As we can see, tourist port here, 9,000, 15,000 the building itself with the blueprint. Then we need to build the other thing, so that's going to take a bit of time, and we can use this time to build something else, for example, like the chocolate factory over here. Lots of these new industrial buildings here require energy. That is something we need to go for now soon. Then the power plant, and ooh, metro station is ready too. But the chocolate factory doesn't require power, and it does need cocoa and sugar, and we both have that on our island. So let's get the blueprint for it. It's not that expensive. And there we have then the factory.
A special report from Canal Uno reveals the answer. El Presidente. We never doubted it.
Alright, and let's have the factory. I always want to build the factories kind of over here as well, you know, so that we don't have everything concentrated over here, and people might also want to live here. Then makes it easier to build something in the center there. But for now, yeah, let's have the chocolate factory here beside the clinic there. I think that's a good location. We might then have here a metro station, you know, and then we have the metro station here and then the town center, and that probably will draw those people then over there again. But now chocolate, then we produce the chocolate for an additional income here. A lot for everything is being modernized, and look at that, the fighters look now new, or better, that is. And the research as well has changed now. So Cold War, lots and lots of new research options that we're going to take a look at then in the next episode. Stay tuned.